Welcome to the Yak Chat, the ultimate podcast for the everyday angler. Whether you're paddling, pedaling, or motoring in the serene waters, or casting your line into the heart of bass territory, we've got your fishing fix covered. We're about to embark on an adventure that goes beyond the surface of the water. As we count down the minutes to launch, get ready to dive into the world of kayak fishing, bass angling, and the art of turning your kayak into the ultimate angler's haven. This isn't just about catching fish. It's about the joy of the outdoors, the thrill of the chase, and becoming the best angler and dad you can be. So, whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting your feet wet, join us on this journey as we navigate the waters of kayak fishing and fatherhood. Stick around, gear up, and let's cast off into another exciting episode of the Yak Chat, hosted by Bearded Dad Fishing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Yak Chat. It's your boy Jay with Bearded Dad Fishing, and you landed here where we talk about all things kayaks, all things fishing, all the time. This podcast is streaming live on YouTube, so if you're watching live, I want to hear your questions, your comments, and your smart remarks. So make sure you throw them up there, and we're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. So if you're listening later on, feel free to drop those same smart remarks on there as well. So we had to make a little bit of a change for today's show. We originally had Blake Abbey scheduled to come on to talk to us about the key to successfully kayak fish tournaments. So Blake is actually he's a kind of a newcomer to the scene for tournament fishing, but he's been killing it this year. He won the Hobie BOS at the Harris Chain of Lakes in February, but he's fishing for for the qualifier for Team USA this weekend on Lake Murray. So just because of the logistics of that, we couldn't make it work. But he's coming back at the end of May to talk to us again about successfully kayak fishing tournaments. So that's the perfect kind of segue into today's topic. So we already had this scheduled for next week, but we're actually going to move it ahead to today. We're talking to Mr. Kayak Bass Fishing himself, Chad Hoover, who really needs no introduction because he's been around this industry longer than most of us have been around, period. So, of course, we got Juan Orta of Cap'n Hooks and Brian, the Michigan fisherman, joining us as well, which is really dope. Before I bring the guys on, though, just a couple quick housekeeping items. So if you guys are already not part of the group Kayak Fishing Dads on Facebook, make sure you guys head on over there and join the conversation. We got 22,000 guys now on that group, which is absolutely nuts because 2 weeks ago we had 20,000. So 1,000 each week is really nuts. Lots of great information on there. We also have if you're in the Northeast, we're hosting a Kayak Fishing Dads meetup May 11th, which is just under 2 weeks from now, on Lake Nakamixon in Eastern Pennsylvania. So we're gonna so from what I'm seeing, it's probably gonna be 10 guys or so. And it's low pressure. We're just going to go fish, hang out, maybe eat some food, whatever. So if you're in the Northeast and you're not that far from Eastern PA, head on over there and join us for fishing. If you want more information, head on over to the Facebook group and look under the events tab and you'll be able to see it on there. Of course, since we are talking to Chad today, we're going to be talking about the Knukled Bass Fishing Series and why it's a fantastic a tournament series for all anglers, but especially for new anglers. So we're going to talk about that. But of course, I have a team on there, Team Bearded Dad. So we'll talk about why you should join my team over any of the other teams. They're all good guys, but this team got the best bearded captain. So and you know, we got Alex Rudd. He's a team captain too. He's got a good beard. We got John from Greenfish Nation. He got a good beard too, but I'm just saying, maybe I'm a little biased, but this beard's a little bit better. But before I bring on the guys, the last thing here is May 12th. Put it on your calendars. That's the next episode. That's Mother's Day. We're going to be talking about kayak safety and what that looks like as far as gear, as far as tactics and good habits, because we want to get out on the water. We want to fish, but most importantly, we want to come back to it so that we can fish again. Right. So again, May 12th, we're going to be talking about that. All right. Enough of the blabbing. Let me get the guys on here, man. Excited to chat. We got Juan Horta, Ryan. What's up, brothers?
What's up, Jay?
What's going on, y'all?
Yeah, we got, of course, Mr. Chad Hoover, who's fishing right now. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Hey, if I lose the signal, I'll jump right back on when I get around this corner and get to the truck.
All right. No, sounds good, man. You got the best seat in the house. I'd rather be fishing right now, but I'm sitting at a desk.
Well, this is my desk.
Nice, man. So again, if you guys have ever researched anything related to kayak fishing, you've no doubt run into Chad's videos. So you're more than likely familiar with the guy. Chad's been doing this for a long time, man. Before we kind of get into the knucklehead, Chad, for those who don't know a little bit of your background, can you give us the cliff notes of how you ended up where you are now with kayak fishing?
I grew up in basically the water in Louisiana and Georgia, mostly Louisiana. And, we had pirogues and john boats and canoes, and everywhere I lived flooded. So we were always in some kind of watercraft. And a lot of time it was something you paddled. So then I joined the Navy. I'd fished my whole life, and I was in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I was guiding on the side to pay for college. And I ran into a guy who was using a kayak to paddle shark baits out. Long story short, we exchanged numbers. He called me, asked me to buy his kayak because he needed money to make rent. I didn't have the money, but I donated blood and plasma and got the money and bought the kayak from him. And then I started fishing out of it, started winning tournaments from a kayak against boats, started doing really well in the saltwater scene, started adding it to my guide arsenal, and bada boom, bada bing, I got some notoriety from catching some big fish. Like I said, I was in the Navy. My tour in Corpus Christi, where I got into kayak fishing, came to an end. I went to Virginia. I was there about a week and hooked up with some guys that were doing really well in the kayak fishing scene. They invited me to go offshore. I caught a cobia from the kayak that made the cover of Fisherman Magazine and Chesapeake Angler, which are pretty much up and down the whole East Coast. And then people started asking me to do seminars. I started doing seminars, and back before I got married a few years ago, I had a really good sense of humor. It's coming back. And so my seminars were more like a stand-up routine. So they got pretty popular. I started getting asked to do them more. And one time I tried to turn a guy down because I had duty in the Navy. And he kept, there's one.
Hey.
He kept out here catching these fish on the buzz bait. So y'all have to forgive me for a second. Started
only on the
seminars.
Bro.
And I literally told him that I couldn't do it because I had duty, and I just couldn't afford to. And he was like, well, I'll pay you. And by the time he finished offering me what he was going to pay me, it was
there he
more
goes.
than I made in the Navy that month. So I paid somebody to take my duty. I went. Hello?
Yeah, you're there.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
A little choppy, but you
Okay,
could
cool.
if you could go right
Hear me?
where you were saying about the he offered to pay you.
Yeah, and he paid me more than I made in the Navy that month to do 4 seminars, 2 seminars a day or actually 6 seminars, 2 seminars a day for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at a show. And while I was there, a couple of companies came up to me and like, oh, I saw you're one of the featured speakers. Would love to have you on our pro staff. Do you use our shit? And I was like, wouldn't you want to know if I use your stuff before you asked me to be on your pro staff? And so I kind of learned how the game worked. And I said, I do use your stuff. So how does that work? And we all agreed on something. And the light bulb went off. I was like, man, I think I can do this. And my papa told me when I was about 20, I'd been in the Navy for 3 years. We was sitting out on a tractor and he has been working and he had lost his pension. Because the company that he worked for 36 years went bankrupt, and he was just kind of in a funky spot. And he said, man, if a man could ever figure out how to do for a job, what he thinks about doing at work. He'll never work a day in his life, another day in his life. And I mean, that resonated with me like forever. And so I was sitting at my desk and all I could think about was fishing. And then I got a bunch of work done. So I started getting in early so I could get work done. Then I could take a little break in the middle of the day and jump on some of the forums like Tidal Fish and Kayak Bass Fishing had a forum back then. And I was just obsessed with it. And then I said, one of my master chiefs, I was an officer at this time. One of my master chiefs said to me, "Sir, are you thinking about fishing?" And I said, "Master Chief, if I'm not talking about something else, I'm thinking about fishing." And that's when the light bulb went off and reminded me of what I started writing. And a writer said, "Man," a magazine said, "Man, if you could give me the photography, I could double what I pay you." So then I started doing photography. So then I started selling photography, and they said, "Man, if you could write, we could pay you double." So I really started writing and doing photography. And then I started working out deals with companies where they would send me product to do photo layups and photo shoots and stuff with. And that's kind of when the light bulb really went off. And I said to myself, man, going out and doing it and also being able to create content is a value proposition that not many of these companies have. And this is way before influencers and content creators. So they would give me several $1,000s worth of gear, and I'd go out and shoot content, and and then I'd call them and say, "Hey, what do you want me to do with all these rods?" They're like, "Just keep them." I'm like, "There's another one." I'm like, "I can't really. What am I going to do with 30 rods?" They were like, "Well, just sell some of them, make some extra money." Hey, calm down, dude. Sell some of them, make some extra money. Hey, look at that. So nice. I did that, and then I started basically saying, I wonder if I could do this for multiple companies. So then I started reaching out to other companies, and it just snowballed. And I was at the 14-year mark in my career at that point. So I made it my mission to figure out how to layer like little things that I could do, to make a living fishing. And it took me about 3 years to get there. And around the 17-year mark, I had 3 years left to retire. I basically put in my resignation right after I had gotten a promotion. And every one of the people that I worked with thought I was batshit crazy. They're like, "Wait, you just got promoted in the Navy as an officer, and you're going to get out and do what?" And I'm like, "Kayak fish." And keep in mind, this is like before kayak fishing is what it is now,
What year was this?
This was 2010, 2011. I wrote the book Kayak Bass Fishing in 2009. And at that point, I had been kayak fishing since 96. So what was that? Wow. 13 years or so, and something like that. And then, man, I just started figuring out more and more ways to like layer in little pieces. And I never wanted to make like all the money in one spot because I knew that was a recipe for disaster. Like if one deal went bad or if one person changed, or, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd heard those horror stories from other people, in the industry. And I took a lot different path than most people because I worked every possible trade show that I could. I got to know every possible person in the industry that I could. And I put in my time before I even asked for a nickel. So I did the whole trade show thing for probably 6 or 7 years, doing, 15, 20 trade shows a year before I ever got a actual paid like gig. And I mean, a paid sponsorship. I got the paid, trade show deals. And then what started happening is companies started asking me to work their booth. And I was like, I'm going to be at the show. And they're like, "Well, if you'll just give us 2 hours, we'll pay you $150 per diem and we'll pay for your expenses." Well, then I figured out you could stack that. So I'd get 6 companies to pay for me to be there. And then I started making some decent money. But I realized the only way I was really going to make it, because there wasn't a social media market like there is now back then, the only way I was really going to make it is do the TV thing and do the retail thing. So I bought a retail store from a lady that used to be a sponsor of mine and just kind of took it to the next level. That was a store called Hook One. And my son and I basically slept in that store, worked in that store, grinded in that store for about 3.5 years before the first 3 years I got out of the military, I was making less than I was paying in taxes before I retired. I want you to hear that. For all you guys out there that think you want to be whatever it is, I was making less for 3 years than I was paying in taxes before I retired. So if you want it and you're, I was a single dad at the time. I just, I probably put my kids through some crap I shouldn't have. Dragged him around the country, homeschooling him. Got to do some cool stuff. And at the same time, it was a grind. So did the TV thing. That was very lucrative for about 5 years in the middle. The first 4 wasn't great. The middle 5 was good. And then companies started buying fetchback ads and doing all that stuff where they could get as much themselves as they could by working with companies. And then TV started changing. I think that, I don't think TV is going to die, but I think TV is becoming a device. It's not so much a broadcast receiver anymore. It's more of a device. Most people are streaming now. And so this year I'm on TV until I think the last week of June. And then after that, I'm going straight digital. So YouTube, Realtree 365, Facebook, social media, stuff like that. And it's been pretty good blessing. I went through a pretty tough financial patch going through the divorce. Got through that. I'm not, 100% great right now, but I can see good coming. You know what I'm saying? But I wake up every morning and realize I get to do what I love for a living. And so I can't be any more blessed than that. Now I get to do it with my son, who's basically 50 yards ahead of me doing the same thing I'm doing. And yeah, man, I literally wake up every morning the luckiest dude on the planet.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I mean, that's a heck of a survival story right there, like pushing through and persevering, because it ain't easy doing what you love.
Yeah, and people always ask me, did you ever think about quitting? And if you've got an aeronautical engineering degree and 20 years experience in the aviation world, and you check your email and they're offering you $185,000 to start, company car, expense account, and you're making $35,000. Yeah, there's plenty of times that I was like, I could just quit this crap and I could pay to go on really awesome fishing trips. But man, once I became independent, it was really hard to, especially since I was in the military, which means I had somebody's thumb on my head for 20 years, to go from that to then having independence. You can't really put a price tag on that. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. So there was times in the last 3 years I had single digit money in my bank account. But I said to myself, you know what? I've done it once. I can do it again. And, watched a lot of YouTube motivational videos from people like Andy Frisella and David Goggins and stuff like that to kind of get yourself psyched up, and just too stupid to quit. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't quit, you don't fail. You don't fail until you quit. So, that's that's where I'm at.
You've been pretty open about like your divorce and like even through your YouTube channel and all that, and how it's kind of affected a little bit of KBF and all that. So I'm glad to hear that you're kind of coming through the other side.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. The one thing that's gotten me in a lot of trouble over my career is saying whatever I think. But the one thing that's been consistent throughout my career is I'm not going to blow any smoke up anybody's ass. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I can do something that I can't. And even if I fall short of a commitment, I'm going to do everything that I could to take care of those people before I take care of myself. And that's the only way I can sleep at night. And so, I've done that. I've got great friends in the industry that worked with me. A lot of naysayers that were trying to tear me down that, really I shouldn't have focused on them, because they weren't really stakeholders, because they weren't part of our community anyway. They were just, I hate to lump people all under the term haters, but they were just haters, just as plain as it could be. And a lot of that had to do with envy. They wanted to do what I did, but they don't know how hard I worked to get there. I tell people all the time, if you're not willing to risk everything you've got you'll never have the opportunity to get everything you want. Ever.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's a universal truth. And I really did roll the dice and risk it all. And I burned through my life savings getting through this divorce and getting people paid off and getting the business rebuilt. But I learned a lot. And I think that the business will be better because of it. I'll be better because of it. And therefore I'll be better for the community because of it. Because, I do consider myself a leader in this space. And, I had to take a little while to where, that saying, when the oxygen mask falls down on the airplane, you got to put it on yourself and learn in the middle of all that crap. And some really good, smart people kind of surrounded me and said, dude, you gotta stop. You got to take care of yourself first. And, luckily they did. And that's why I'm still here. And, there were some major revelations in that process. I got to learn that part of the reason I was depressed is I started with the Catch-22 because I wanted to do something that did something for something other than just helping people win money. I wanted to have a cause, and that cause was Mission 22 the first year. Then we moved to Heroes on the Water, and I've just felt like Heroes on the Water is more aligned with what I do, and I'm better able to support that organization. We are better aligned on our vision and our mission for how to help people. I've been very blessed here in North Alabama with lots of people that have said, when you get to this point, we'll help you from a corporate side. And so I've just pivoted into a whole new direction, and learning the power of influence is really what made me pivot away from just doing all the trails and the tournament events like I've doing them in the past, and wanted to do more of the fun community building, camaraderie building. And also, I really felt like early on, I had Gene, Fluke Master, is a good friend of mine, but there wasn't a lot of people supporting each other in the fishing industry on YouTube. And then when you look at guys that came in and did it right, like the Googans and some of the other people that work together, I just wanted to create something similar to that, where we all promoted each other and we built an esprit de corps around it, but have a little fun competition. And, you got to put a carrot on the stick, and the carrot on the stick is the money. But the real thing about it is getting people to think team oriented and cause oriented versus just me oriented. And that's where that's how the Knucklehead came about.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of the Knucklehead, and one thing that you said that kind of stuck out to me when we were there in Alabama last year was the camaraderie that came with the Knucklehead, like meeting everybody that you see online, that you've talked to, and you kind of feel like but you don't. So what was the background of you starting this? So like to get back to that fun fishing.
Yeah, to get back to the fun fishing, to build that team concept versus the me concept, to where you have to work together. It's one fish per person from a team concept. We did a lot right last year. We did a lot wrong. We learned. I still don't think we've got it perfect, but we're going to go through this year. We'll learn from this year, and it'll get better. And I just think as it gets better, we can do more to raise money for great causes, raise awareness for great causes, and then make each other aware of our different communities. Because before I met you, I had to go looking for your videos. Now that I know you and I comment on your stuff shows up in my feeds. You bring a different perspective that has even helped me with some of my videos. When I redid the Big Dude Fishing Kayak video, I took some of the stuff that you said from a different perspective, and then I put a questionnaire out and got the feedback, and then I made a better video. And then I feel like the crate challenge thing that you did, the things that we're doing like that, a more well-rounded opinion.
Cutting in it out, bro.
and you get away from some of the over-sponsored content. You get a whole bunch of different perspectives, so the consumer wins because they get a well-rounded. Am I out?
Yeah, kind of in and out.
We got you right now, though.
Okay. So what I was saying is the consumer themselves gets a more well-rounded dose of information. And by all of us interacting with each other, we also get better. So we better serve our individual communities and fan bases. But then we also get better at serving the entire community because of that cross-pollination and because of that, looking at that different perspective. And, I'm always a big fan of promoting the products that I use, but I tell you why I'm using them. Like I'm sitting on a River 119 from Bonafide right now because I'm in the river. But when people post up and say, hey, I'm looking for a boat to go offshore and this and that and the, I hate when these wolf packs of anglers show up and say, try the Jackson Coosa. Like the Jackson Coosa is not an offshore boat, stupid. You know what I mean? But there's these little wolf packs of people that all they care about is forcing the sale. And I think that as a group, we've done a better job of that. And I looked for people that fit that mold more to create this group instead of just an open invite to anybody that wanted to do it, if that makes sense. We all have to make a living. We all have sponsors that we have to promote. We all have, deals that we have to, fulfill. But I tell people all the time, I'm sponsored by people because I use their product. I don't use their product because I'm sponsored by them. And, one of the proudest moments I've had, being selfishly being proud of myself was even when I was in a tough time, there was a couple of companies that I was working with that started doing stuff, chasing this DEI money that really compromised what I believe in. And they basically kind of gave me an ultimatum. You either do it or we can't do the sponsorship. And I was like, okay. And then I kind of like when we were talking on the phone, like the volume, they couldn't hear what I said. So I said, here, let me turn this up where you can hear it a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And just walked away from the deals. Walked away from the deals when I really needed the money. And so we can all say you do the right thing at the right time. But there was definitely times that I thought, man, if I'd have just bit my tongue and took that money, I wouldn't be struggling right now. But I'm glad I didn't, because it makes it easier to sleep at night. You have integrity, you have credibility. And, that was the hardest part of the struggle with like not making payouts on time and doing some of that stuff last year, is that it's an integrity hit for me. And, you can work your whole life building your integrity and you can lose it in kind of one instant. And so I knew that I had to be very transparent. I knew that not that there was there. See, here's the thing. There's no choice for me. I don't understand you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand how I couldn't have done it that way, if that makes sense. Like, it's the only thing I could imagine doing is just tell the truth, be honest, and be real, because you can blow smoke up somebody's skirt, but eventually they're going to realize they got a smoky skirt on and you're full of crap,
Yeah. Yeah. The mask comes off.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the Knucklehead. So I guess like some basic information, like how's it work, bro? Like if people want to join, why should they join, and why is it beginner friendly?
Well, it's beginner friendly because it's not super serious. It's not catered to that individual angler that can go out and catch the best 5 fish, like your top hammers in the game. It's more, it's more for that, beginner to intermediate angler. And the idea is that you win a month-long challenge fishing on your water, on your time. That means you're definitely pretty good. Doesn't mean you're going to be good in the place where the championship is, or doesn't mean you're going to be good catching one big fish in one day, 2 days in a row. But it just means that there's been a vetting process. What we did this year to kind of mix it up so that people didn't feel like, oh, well, there's no use in me entering. There's no way I'm going to win. If you enter, especially for my series, I've got a lot of great sponsor support and a lot of prizes that I'm giving away. In addition to that, we're working to be able to offer that to all the captains. So if a captain doesn't necessarily have a great sponsor base, we can even reach out to some of our sponsors, for those of us that are more blessed with sponsors, and say, hey, this person needs some sponsorship. Can you help them out with some product to put that bigger carrot on the stick to get more people to sign up? But then one of the things that really resonated with me last year is a lot of guys came up to me personally and said, "Hey, man, I had a good time. I just really wish I would have had a chance to meet all the other captains more than just the one that was on my team." And then we did a wild card fish off, hoping to get the people that didn't make it onto the team to come down for a chance to win. But in the feedback process after the event, most of them felt like, well, there's going to be a lot of locals that fish that, and we don't have a snowball's chance in hell at making that team. So, I'm not going to come. So this year, what we're going to do is once everybody on the team has made it, everybody that enters a 5-fish limit in any month is automatically qualified to come fish in the Big Bass Fish Off. And so I'm working on getting about $5,000 to $6,000 in prizes myself, and I'm trying to get every captain to commit $1,000. So far, I've got 4 that have committed it. So we're around $9,000 in prizes right now, and we're going to give those prizes out after the Big Bass Fish Off. And I'm putting up $1,000 towards the Big Bass Fish Off, 500, 300, 200 for first, second, and third biggest bass on that Saturday. And then we're going to have an award ceremony that evening, a meet and greet for all the captains to meet all the people from all the teams. And if you don't make it into a team, you can come out and meet all the team captains and, be entered into some drawings for some awesome prizes and just have more of a fellowship experience for the community of kayak fishing. And you got a chance to win some really awesome prizes. So that's kind of the idea, is to make it more of a festival, more of a party, more of a get together, more of a, almost like a family reunion. And if we can pull that off, then every year we hopefully can grow this thing. We can get, a few more captains in here and there. We can get some more new people in here and there. You're not ever going to have the same team every year because people have to win their way onto the team. So there's no stacking teams. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to make it, where it couldn't be any more fair, I guess is the way to look at it, because it's not like there's I guess 4 or 5 guys that win really well could go and get on a particular team. And then maybe, have one team, but then that team has still got to catch 5 good fish 2 days in a row. And again, it's not about catching 5 fish individually. It's about each person catching a big fish. So if you've got a weak link on your team that doesn't catch a big fish and you get a 4-fish limit and a weak fish, you're not going to win. And so, we're going to do everything we can to avoid like teams getting, overstacked, if you want to call it that. And I think that one of the ways that we did that this year is to get rid of enter a whole bunch of teams like we did last year, which also discouraged a lot of people because they were seeing one person with 115 inches across all the captains. And now this year you can only enter 2 at a time. And if you win, you're done. So once you win one, you're out. You can't keep fishing. And that was another thing that was a little weird last year is there were some guys that won, but they wanted to keep fishing for like the small prizes that were awarded each month. And I guess I get it, but at the same time, it was kind of killing the spirit of the competition because people were like, man, this guy's already won 3 challenges and now he's still fishing and he's got a little honey hole where he's fishing and he's putting up 115, 120 inches. This is crap.
Yeah.
And so this year we got rid of that. And every year we're sorry about that. Each year we're going to do everything we can to keep it more and more fair, just like we've done with the Trail Series and the online challenge series and some of the other stuff, so that it continues to be something fun, kind of a beginner to intermediate level competition where folks can boost up their confidence in tournament fishing, boost up their confidence in fishing in general. One of the things that I want to do is offer like a seminar series as part of this on that Friday so that anglers that are coming into town, whether they are on a team or not, can listen to some seminars, whether you're wanting to be a YouTuber, whether you're trying to get better at catching fish, trying to get better at catching fish a certain way. I want to just make it as beneficial an experience as I can for folks to come to. And then the city's behind it. In addition to that, I've got a lot of great tourism partnerships. So there's already been 3 cities that have reached out to me and says, hey, is Knucklehead belong to Huntsville forever? And I'm like, no, just for the first couple of years. Sorry, I'm paddling through rocks, just so y'all can tell, in case you can't tell. So they're like, well, once it's past the initial stage and you're willing to open it up to other places, let us know. And so it'd be kind of cool to take it somewhere up north so that all the Yankees, have home turf advantage and be able to do things like maybe make it a smallmouth thing, take it to somewhere like, St. Clair or, something like that. But the idea is to just keep putting it out there, doing it, listening to feedback from competitors, listening to feedback from the captains, taking and making it meet in the middle, because we're putting our time out there. We're putting our resources out there. We're working to make it an awesome event for our fans and followers and community. So we have to find a balance. And so that's kind of the goal. And the goal is to each year, just take what we learn and make it better. I think we learned a lot last year, and most of the things that we've got in place this year, looking back on it, if I'd have been a little smarter, probably should have been able to see some of them, but you don't really know until you do it. You know what I'm saying? And then once we launched it, it was like trying to change tires while you're going down the road. I probably think the biggest mistake I made last year is everybody started in different months. I had guys that I thought would be good for the sport that had a bigger following than most of us, like Clay Guida. And Clay was signed up. Actually, you took Clay's spot last year. And he ended up getting a fight camp on top of and a fight the week that we were doing the Knucklehead. And then this year we moved it because he was going to come back on board. And then I moved it to the week that he got a damn fight again. So, it is what it is. We're just going to keep, like I said, we're going to keep working. We're going to keep dialing it in. That's kind of the overview. Did I miss anything that you can think of, or any questions off the top of your head?
Yeah, well, I mean, the one thing I noticed right off the bat. So, why did you change the layout for the championship? So, for those that don't know, last year the championship was one day on Gunnersville or Lake Wheeler, but this year it's 2 days and it's at both lakes. So you have to fish both lakes. If you fish Gunnersville on day 1, you got to fish Wheeler Lake 2. If you do Wheeler day 1 or whatever, you gotta fish both lakes on both days. So what's the change with that? Why did you decide that?
Well, a big part of it is Huntsville is our host, and they want exposure for both lakes because they're right in the middle. Personally, it blows my mind how people overlook Wheeler just because of how famous Gunnersville is, right? And in addition to that, 2 completely different types of fishery, and it makes you have to challenge yourself a little bit more, okay? It also gets rid of like the quote-unquote home field advantage where you can just go have a couple of spots on Gunnersville and go blow them up 2 days in a row. And it also forces us to fish different locations. So you can't just go to the same spot 2 days in a row. We went to the 2-day format because as exciting as it was to have that leader change at the last minute on the last day, it was also a whole bunch of people came up to me and go, dude, how awesome would it be if we still had to fish tomorrow and those 2 had to go at it and other people had a chance? And so when I did the survey and I was calling captains, it was like I stopped calling captains at about 7 because it was 100%. Go 2 days. It was like nobody was even giving, like everybody was like, yeah, 2 days is better. And it also allows us to let the focus be on the folks that didn't make it onto the team on that Saturday, instead of them being like the sub award ceremony and then the real award ceremony at Knucklehead. It allows them to have that Saturday night as like their night, and then Sunday is the award ceremony for the teams. The other thing that we did is we changed the payout structure from 10,000 to one team, 5,000, 3,000, 2,000, so that 3 different teams kind of have a chance at making money. And then based on the number of entries, once that payout is covered, then I'll start adding a 4th place, a 5th place, And then I'm probably going to pay 50% of the field and then go back and start beefing up first place again, then second. That way there has to be an incentive. I also just missed a giant over here. He's over here throwing a temper tantrum on a rock. There has to be an incentive, in my opinion, to fish hard. So that was the idea. And to just get a little bit of extra, make it an extra challenge to have to fish both different lakes, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great thing to do, because even that was my first time down there, and I wasn't sure whether to fish Wheeler or Gunnersville, and we ended up just sticking to Gunnersville because that's where most of the people were. But you're right, like it's definitely more challenging, but it also opens up the door to more opportunity. And making it 2 days, I mean, most of us, I drove 14 hours down, so like I'd rather fish a 2-day tournament when I'm down there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That was the other thing that people said, like, man, if we're going to come this far and there's that much money on the line, it should be more of a 2-day thing. And then what was funny is somebody said, you can't book an Airbnb on the weekend for 1 day. And I was like, what? Yeah, we tried to book the Airbnb, so we had to book the next day anyway. I was like, oh, shoot, I don't even know that was a thing. So it was just a whole bunch of things that turned into like it was almost a no-brainer that we did the 2-day thing. And then just to kind of shake things up and make it a little more challenging, I came up with the fish one lake 1 day. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to put some tokens or some cards in a bag. And based on how the captains finish in the captain's challenge, that's when you draw the winner or you draw the lake you're going to fish on day 1. And then the next day you have to fish the other lake. And then there's going to be a wild card chip in there. If you draw that chip, you can decide which lake you're going to fish, and you can pick another lake for the other team. So let's just say you drew and I drew Gunnersville. You could say, I'm going to fish Gunnersville on day 1, and I'm putting Team Chad on Wheeler on day 1 because you think somehow that's going to screw us or something. So that'll just add another little fun variable to it.
That's cool, man. No, because I mean, it's a little bit of a battle behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, it's all friendly, of course, but I love the little bit of crap talk in the background.
Yes, sir. I think it's going to be a lot more crap talk this year. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Anything else? So I'm gonna walk through and show people how to sign up. But before you get off here, anything else that you wanna add in that you think is pertinent? People sign up. People get going on this, because we start in just a couple days here. May 1st is when
May
it all
1st,
opens
man.
up.
The one cool thing about this concept is you can sign up at any time. You can sign up to 3 days left to go in the month and win your way in. You can sign up with 3 days left to go and get your 5 fish limit, so you're qualified for the fan fish off. And so, really what I want people to take away from it is there's a chance to win prizes, there's a chance to win your way into a team, and then for mine, I'm supporting Heroes on the Water, and each of the captains have a specific charity or cause that they're supporting. And so that's the other part that I really would like to reiterate that people think about, is that there's more to this than just fishing, catching fish, and winning prizes. We're all trying to use it to raise awareness for something. And for me, that's veteran suicide awareness. That's using kayak fishing for therapy for veterans who need it. And, even if they're not suicidal, just to get out of, long-term depression and add some quality to their life. I think to a certain extent, we focus on this thing like it's all about preventing suicide, and it really is a big part of it. But I just want to be able to add quality to the lives of these people who deserve it, both, military veterans and homeland heroes. And we've been doing it for a couple years now, and there's no more rewarding trips than getting out there and taking somebody fishing who doesn't otherwise have access to it and just watching them light up. And for years and years and years, we've been doing this as these like kind of photo op type trips where we take 30, 40, 50 people out. I want to make it more about like one-on-one, one-on-two type trips. And the way that we can do that is fund the long-term, and I'm probably getting ahead of myself here, but I want to build an app that's a lot like a dating app, but it's more about you sign up as a person looking to go fishing, and a person that's looking to take people fishing signs up, and you set how far you're willing to go, what type of gear you have, what type of fishing, and it connects people. And we can get people out there and have these adventures and have these opportunities and get out of their head. And then hopefully it's one of those each one, reach one, teach one type things where then the person that becomes a benefactor of it also becomes a guide down the road and pays it forward. And so that's the ultimate long-term goal for me. I've always tried to do things too big, too fast in the past. And with this one, it's a lifetime goal. So I'm taking it that way. I'm taking it one step at a time. And I'm going as fast as the market lets me move to accomplish these things.
Yeah. Good, man. Yeah, we have another guy, Chad, has a question here. Chad's Adventures. He wants to know, is river wade fishing allowed in the state challenge?
In the state challenge?
Yeah.
In the river challenge, it is. I don't really want to get into a whole bunch of rules questions answering. What you can and can't do is very well laid out in rules. People always like to ask questions on podcasts out of context, and then 3 years later they'll be like, "But Chad said on the podcast." You can on the river podcast, but not, or the river challenge, not in the regular challenge. But I hide the answers to all of these questions, many more, under the tab that says rules in each event and down at the bottom of the website on kayakfishing.com.
Yeah. That was good. And Tarkov asked if we could fish anywhere for Knucklehead. Yes, you could fish anywhere for the Knucklehead for the online series part. So anywhere that's for public. May, June. Anywhere public, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you don't have to be on a kayak. You could be on the bank. You could be on a boat.
Yeah.
It could be whatever.
Cool.
So, yep, as long as it's public waters.
How are you streaming right now before you get out of here?
What's that?
How are you streaming right now? How are you accomplishing this stream on the Yak in the river right now before you get out of here? Put us on. How you doing?
I'm just on my phone. I'm just on my phone. I got a little Yak Attack mount for my camera here, and I got another little Yak Attack mount that holds my phone. And just Verizon. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, man. So, we pulled up to the takeout. There's my truck. There's my truck right up the hill, and Austin's dragging out. But you know what the secret is? And I'll tell you this tip now, because it's also good for catch, photo, release. I turn off all my apps that are running in the background. You have no idea how much bandwidth that eats up when you've got the apps running in the background, so that as soon as you click on them, they open immediately. Yes, it takes a little bit of extra time if I want to open up an app. But when I get off the water, I turn them all back on and they're all running. But I'm glad you asked that question, because you can stream and you can upload photos so much better if you turn off all your apps in the background. So go to settings, scroll down, and you'll see a little swiper for all the different apps, and just swipe them off. If you don't need them for that fishing trip, just turn them off. And your photos will load faster. It won't suck your battery down, and you'll be able to get a hell of a lot more done. Does that make sense? You're not distracted by notifications.
Yeah.
No,
Great pro tip.
I completely agree with him, because I've been fishing. I've been starting to do a lot of live streaming out on Lake St. Clair. I live like 5 minutes away from Lake St. Clair, Chad. And I've been doing a lot of live streaming out in the middle of the lake. And I never thought I'd be able to do that. But you're absolutely right. You turn off all your apps, and I've had no issues, really. It's been working out pretty well out there. And we would love to have you bring Knucklehead out to Lake St. Clair. That would be amazing to be fishing for smallies out here. You mentioned that, and we would love to have you over here.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. We just gotta figure it out, and we gotta figure out that sweet time to come there, so that people that aren't familiar with the fact that you can get killed on that lake,
right,
respect it. We'll literally have to have like a specific safety brief, and probably even a safety boat running around to do something that big on a lake like St. Clair.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. In fact, we had a kayak tournament that was supposed to be scheduled this past weekend on Saturday, that had to be canceled because we had 25, 30 mile per hour winds, and you can't be fishing in 2 to 3 foot waves out there in your kayak. So I guess I do understand it from a safety perspective there.
Yeah, we're on the river today because the winds were crazy down here in Alabama. So the lakes have been on fire, but we decided to hit the river because the winds have been like 30, 35. And then like the biggest fish I caught today was, y'all saw him. I don't know what. I
Yeah.
think the bigger fish are further down the river, but we floated a stretch that was going to give me enough time to try to get off the water. And then, of course, I ended up, like always, running short because I stopped and fished too much. But yeah, if I would have just busted through when we first started trying to get on, I would have got here. I had a much better signal. Plus, the second time that I got kicked off, I was like, oh shit, I got like 10 apps running in the background. Let me turn them off. And I turned them off, and then it's been a lot better since then.
Yeah.
And Junior's up there getting the truck ready for us to load. Where's he at? Right there.
All right, brother.
Yeah,
well, I don't think I have any more questions.
No.
So I'm gonna go through and show the guys how to sign up. But I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man.
So here's something else that I think we need to do a lot more of along the way. So I want to call you out, Jay, for a 1v1 Knucklehead showdown sometime between now and August 31st. And since I'm making the call out, I'll let you pick the waters and the weekend or the dates. And you say when and where, and I'll be there, and we'll make some content out of it. And what we'll do is the winner has to donate $500 in prizes from their sponsor to the other guy to give to his team members. So,
Wow.
yeah. But I'll fish your waters, your weekend, and I'll even fish whatever lure. I'll only fish the lures you're fishing.
Interesting.
I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
All right, man. So figure it out and throw the challenge down, and I'll be there.
All right,
All right,
so
brother.
I guess Chad Hoover's coming to PA then, huh?
Yo, we'll make it happen.
Hey, I've been there a few times.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for having me. And I would sit here and talk forever, but I've already done that. And I'm also getting tore up by mosquitoes. And we still got to finish
All right,
the
bro.
show. All right, man.
Yo,
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you. All right, y'all have a great night.
take
All
care.
right, bro.
Thanks, Chad.
That was funny, bro. I don't think we'll ever have somebody else catch 2 bass while on this podcast.
I ain't gonna lie, that was low key epic and kind of cool, man. That he,
You know, I might take you up on that challenge, Jay. I might have to, like I said, I was able to broadcast live. Now that you said that, I may have to join you guys now that we got daylight and everything. I'm gonna have to try to catch 3 bass out on Lake St. Clair during a live.
They'll be chunkier than that too. There's some chunky ones out there, man.
I gotta get a phone mount so I could start doing that.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a phone mount. I know I like the one Lucas has. You know what? If we go on Lake St. Clair with the week that Lucas just had, he's not allowed to fish. I don't.
He's not allowed to fish.
Yeah, he was doing.
Well, Brian just had 100 fish day. He was just telling me about it before he got on.
Yeah, that was in the back cuts though. That was on Harson's Island. It wasn't on the main lake. It was a little bit windier that day. I went in, kind of like Chad said. You know, he didn't want to go on the main lake. Kind of got in the back cuts, and I went to a honey hole that. I mean, I've caught fish in it before, but I never caught it like I did the other day. I mean, it was almost every cast for 2 to 3 hours. Probably caught a little over 100 fish, and just one of those magical days.
You're not a lot of fishing either,
right?
Oh, I can't wait, man. Yeah, we got to make a trip out there somehow.
Yeah, man.
See,
That's
I didn't.
cool. Now I gotta pick my brain here about this challenge that he just said. He's gonna. I guess Chad Hoover's coming to PA, man.
Yeah.
Gotta pick a weekend.
Yeah.
You also got to find $500 worth of stuff from sponsors.
Shoot, people think I'm sponsored up. I got like
right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean,
Juan's
you're doing well. You're doing well. You're coming up, but I don't know if you have $500 worth from your sponsors.
Juan will sponsor me, man. With
that might come out of your pocket.
I'll give you. Oh, we'll figure it out.
Like, yeah, it's 2 lures, $500.
We'll do a GoFundMe for you to
get 2 lures for
get you out there.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I might need it against Chad. But let me bring up the screen and show everybody how to sign up for the Knucklehead. It's super easy. So you just go to Fishing Chaos, which you can go on. This is on the website, the browser on the computer.
Real quick, how many teams they got this year, Jay? Same as last.
There's 12 teams for Knucklehead. So if you go to the Fishing Chaos either website or the app and you just put Knucklehead, you'll see all the teams here. So you got Team Creek Fishing Adventures, Wendell, who won last year, Chad Hoover, of course, Bearded Dad Fishing, Fluke Master, Alex Rudd is doing it this year, which is pretty cool. Gramps, so JT from Fishing with Gramps, Freedom Squad, Greenfish, which is John Suits, Tennessee Kayak Angler, Team EJ, Greenfish 2, and that's it. Because we also have a captain's challenge, but that's a separate thing. So 12 teams to choose from. And what Chad was saying was that the prizes are going to be $5,000 for first place, $3,000 for second place, and $2,000 for third place. So, like, basically the top 25% of the teams get a payout, which is better percentages and odds than you're going to have at any tournament.
Now, do you have a limit to as how many people can be on your team, Jay, or is it just
No, there's no limit. So, I mean, if you go on each one, you can see how many anglers are signed up. So right now, this is for the month of May. You know, Team Creek has 28 anglers, and the more popular guys are probably going to have bigger turnout on their event. So I have 15 anglers currently signed up.
I didn't get a chance to sign up yet because but, it's not May.
Because no,
it's not May. It's not May. No need.
It's not May. No, you're right.
And for me, I just even though we've been talking about having Chad on and you've been talking about Knucklehead for a while, I'm just guilty of I haven't logged on, I haven't checked into it because I guess I've been going out having these days. I could have been helping the team, so I feel guilty on that. But I'm definitely going to look into it and jump onto the team. They're obviously jumping onto your team, Jay.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, bro. Otherwise, if you sign up for someone else's, man, you guys aren't going to see Brian on this podcast anymore. No, I'm kidding. But so you can just put on Beard on here, and then you'll see my team. Boom, Team Bearded Dad. And then when you go to register, it'll tell you like which ones you want to sign up for. So I got all my information. Everyone knows where I live now.
Now I forgot, how does Knucklehead work? As far is it like a big fish or is it numbers? That's the one thing I forgot to ask. I wanted to ask him.
Five biggest fish for the month.
Okay.
So when you're signing up, I'm
not sure would have helped. I would have helped you that 100 fish day. I think the biggest one I only had was probably like 18 and a half, 19, and most were like 15. So it's not like we've missed out. I still have some time out, to go to Lake St. Clair in the next couple of weeks, and that's where I'll be able to help you if anywhere.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. But it's real easy to sign up. So you can sign up for just 1 month at a time, or 2 months, or 3 or 4, all at once if you want. But if you win May, you can't. No reason to sign up for June, July, and August. So just do 1 month at a time. But
so it's only $25. That's not bad at all.
Only $25 per month. So
that's cheap, man.
Yeah, for every month you sign up, and it's for a whole month-long tournament. So I mean, your odds are good, especially if you can get out a couple times. I mean, I know Juan and Lucas fish a lot more often than I do. So if they get out on the water 10 times in a month, bro, that's pretty good odds.
To be fair, I get out and I get on that private lake, which I can't.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to submit those.
But I will be making my annual trip at the end of May down to South Carolina. And I'm gonna hit up I plan to hit up the Ashley River and the Sandy Cooper. So crossing my fingers. You know what I mean? So
spawn, bro, they'll be spawned out, but they're still long.
Oh yeah, they'll still be. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna find them, but I'm gonna find them. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be in there.
No.
They'll be in there.
If you scroll down too, you'll see all the rules too. So make sure whoever signs up, you check it out. Minimum length of 12 inches, and like Brian said, it's 5 fish. So if you catch 6, they'll just knock out your smallest fish. So like normal tournament,
you can cull it as you go along though.
Yeah, it'll call for you automatically.
Okay. So all right, so a little bit of clarity. All right, so it was 2 fish. You get 2 fish per month?
No, so you can fish up to 2 teams per month. So say you wanted to join Team Bearded Dad and Team Chad Hoover, you could join both teams for the month of May, and if you happen to get first place, like it increases your likelihood of winning. You know what I mean? So, but if you happen to get first place on both teams, then you just pick the team that you prefer to join.
Gotcha.
And then you pick it, and then essentially the guy who got second place will get first place on the team that you didn't pick.
Got you.
Yeah, last year there was no limit, so you could sign up for 5 or 20 different teams, all 12 different teams at the same time.
Okay.
So that made it harder for, you know what I mean? It's like some of the hammers came in heavy that made it a little bit harder for the guys that might not fish that much.
And now, what was he also mentioning about the limitations that he was putting on? Remember, because like, for those that came in late or whatnot, he was, and for me a little bit too, because it was a little choppy at times. What was he talking about as far as like, was that it? Was that what he was referring to? Just the team thing, or did he refer to like the limit to as many fish you could submit? Because he was saying about discouragement.
Yeah, no, you're right. So okay, so then that's why it can get confusing. So there's two kind of layouts to this. There's the online portion, which is May, June, July, and August, where you can sign up for any of the teams that you want, up to 2 per month. Okay, but once you make first place on any of those teams and you get on into the championship, now the championship is in Alabama on October 5th and 6th. Now the layout of the championship is a little bit different because it's a team event. So you're not catching 5 fish and then culling out your 6th fish. It's 5 people on a team. It's the team captain and then the 4 monthly winners. So 5 people total. On both days, it's going to be the biggest fish from each team member. So you're just aiming to get a big fish. You know what I mean?
Anytime you submit your fish, it'll consistently cull for you, so you just keep catching and submitting.
Yeah. Yep. And you just
submit. You're the top 5 of the largest fish on your particular team.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, you just gotta. It just counts the biggest fish for you on the team. So last year, I had 5 guys on my team. One of our guys didn't catch a fish, but everybody else caught multiple fish. So, but we were still a fish short because we couldn't make up for his fish. He had to catch and submit his own fish.
So you have to catch and submit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Now, let's say all the members of your team catch and submit. The top 5 lengths get.
Well, the top bass from each angler gets submitted on the you're talking about on the championship, correct?
Yeah.
But now the top from each. So, but what I'm saying is how many people from each team can be invited to the main event?
So the only way you can get onto the team, so if you fish the monthly, only the person who wins that monthly gets a seat on the championship team.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So you sign up for Team Bearded Dad, you could still if you don't get first place, you're not going to the championship. You know what I mean? But there is the fan fish off, which if you catch just 5 fish any of the months, doesn't matter what place you land on, you can still go down there and fish the 1-day tournament for $1,000.
Got you. So that's why it's a 4-month, and the 5th person includes the captain.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is so. Imagine not knowing any of this and then trying to have Chad explain it to you. I actually called Darren after I got off the phone with Chad. I was like, "You're gonna have to explain this to me, bro," because Chad goes a million miles an hour and he's so excited. It is hard to pick up on it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy, and he's so well spoken. It's kind of, you don't want to interrupt. It's entertaining too, so it's not like it's just it is a lot of information at once, and I was like, all right, I'm trying to track. All right, just making mental notes of what to make sure I ask about, because I was like, hard. That stuff.
I'm actually really excited. I'm actually really excited about it, Jay, because like if I don't sign up tonight, before I go to bed, I go to bed early. I'm definitely going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to sign up because as content creator, I'm kind of going through. We all go through it once in a while, like a little bit of a creator burnout, and I'm in that right now, and I'm in that hard. So, but this will give me, joining this tournament, the Knukled Series. I think that'll, give me something else to fish for other than just, content looking into the GoPro all the time. It give me a goal. So I'm definitely, if I don't sign up tonight, right after this live, I'm definitely going to be signing up tomorrow. So you'll see my name on your team there.
Awesome, bro. I appreciate it, man. So I didn't get to tell Chad, but I got the Knucklehead video coming out tomorrow with all just a quick rundown of the rules and how it works. But I'm offering prizes too that are separate. So because you don't if a team captain doesn't run prizes, then that's fine. First place prizes, you get a seat in the championship, which is what we did last year. But so for mine, for every monthly tournament, so I have 4 monthly tournaments. Third place is taking home. I'm sending them a set of vinyl sticker packs like we have done for the group recently. Second place is gonna get the T-shirt, the Catch More Bass T-shirt with the dude with the hat.
Mhm.
And then first place is gonna be a Bearded Dad Fishing Richardson cap. But I'm also doing every team member that makes it down to Alabama for my team. I'm doing a custom engraved 26-ounce Yeti Rambler in the King Crab Orange, and I had a picture of it, so it'll be a picture up on the video. But it says Knucklehead Team Bearded Dad with my logo on there, so it's pretty fresh.
That's pretty cool, man. I need to get me a third Richardson cap on my bedpost there.
And
I already got 2.
Nice.
I ain't gonna lie. So, and I'm gonna contribute to that, to those gift prizes. And we'll figure out. Maybe we'll do like first place something like a bigger swim bait, and then like
Custom lures.
Oh yeah, man, gotta hook them up with some lureage. I was trying to figure out what we were gonna do with these guys here. I've painted this a while back, but these are super exclusive because you can see they got the BDF right there for Bearded Dad Fishing. It's like, whatever, guys. I had to upload a video to the group or whatever, but yeah, man.
So if y'all don't know, Juan hand paints custom lures.
Yeah,
He does a fire job at it too.
It's just been I had a new baby this year, new job, so a lot of transitions with that, and and like Brian said, man, I had a weird little burnout myself with just negativity, man. Yo, the internet could be. I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of the toughest guys that I know when I need to be, but for the most part, like I cry during certain parts of movies. I ain't gonna front.
Something wrong with that, bro?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Brian never cries.
Nah?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, my wife never cries either. We'll be watching a movie and she'll look at me and she'll like, yeah, you're a punk. And I'm like, whatever. How do you not cry at this? Yeah, it's so sad. This is so emotional. And she was like, you're a punk. So, but anyway, yeah, man. So I don't know. I got into a rut because I never pay attention to people. Never listen to no negativity. I always let that thing like roll right off me. But for whatever reason, not only did I start responding, I started like feeding into it, and it was a bad place, man. So the internet could be cold, man, if you ain't ready for it. And got caught up.
Cooler Lid just said the internet's a two-edged sword. For
sure, man. For sure. People will start over analyzing things. I got this one video with yellowfin. It's yellowfin or bluefin tuna. I don't know which tuna it is. I'm from PA. I don't gotta be. I don't ocean fish. I've never been around any of that. You know what I'm saying? So I do my best. And I did source what I thought was a legit link, what I thought was the right fish. So I described it a certain kind of way, and they lit me up in that comment section. But it was all for good because that reel's almost gonna hit 1 million views. So, the negativity,
as long as
it's a two-edged sword,
Yeah. We were talking about it yesterday, and Brian will tell you, like, as long as people are engaging on your content, it don't matter what they're saying. It's pushing it up in the algorithm.
Yeah.
Who cares if they're making fun of you because you called it a blackfin tuna or yellowfin tuna?
If you're not getting haters, you're not doing it right. Because my most popular videos on YouTube, like I did the fuel keg one, and that's my easily, other than the deer noises, I'm not counting that. But that fuel keg one easily has the most haters on it. Oh, and by the way, I got my little. Remember last time I had all those little things going up on the screen, Jay? So I figured it out. I was on another live. Now the double. This should give me some fireworks, right?
Snap. How you doing that?
That should give me some fireworks. This should also give me something somewhere.
Wow.
What did you do to get the?
He's on his phone. He's on his phone. That's why. If I do it, it's not gonna happen.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh,
I'm just gonna be randomly throughout the podcast.
See, I figured that out by accident during a live. I said something like, "All right, guys, peace," and then the one piece will give me some bubbles or balloons. But the two pieces gave me confetti, and it was an accidental thing. I'm afraid if this wasn't a family friendly show, I'd try the middle finger too to see what that does. But we're not going to do that.
No.
Keep it very family friendly in here. But I'm sure it does something.
It probably does. We're over here
You know what?
doing like
You're absolutely
special
right,
effects.
man.
Don't do it.
If you're not getting haters, you're not doing the right thing. And yeah, and there's nothing else to be said about it, man. You like, I've always, like I said, I've always ignored it, but for whatever reason, I fed into it, and it was the worst decision ever. So, man, as y'all know, don't listen to people. People are stupid, and especially if they're coming out the way to be negative like that, don't even bother. And I do that, but
well, it's funny, like not a lot like of the kayak fishing people. I mean, we got a lot of kayak fishing people watching right now. Like those are not the negative people. I have yet to really meet like a negative kayak angler. Like if there's any of them, I haven't experienced.
I've also on the leak on the Hobie leak. Oh man, that was man. People lighting me up on that. Like, oh, why would you get this? Why would you get a $6,000 kayak when you could buy a John boat? And it's like, I don't. It's like sometimes it's hard to be humble about it. It's like, dude, I have 2 boats. You know, I still have my old 2 kayaks, my canoes that I brought on the marketplace. You know what I mean? And it's like Chad said, people don't know. You know, so you know,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Now, getting back to Knucklehead, I saw we had a comment on there. Brian Reed said that if I were to somehow make the championship and go down there to Alabama with you, I need to grow a beard. Now, if I can't get one going, I will. If I get to go to Alabama and I get to be on the team, I will buy a beard.
Yes.
And strap that thing on. I'll get the best looking Hollywood, fake beard I can, and I will throw that on.
Yo, not for nothing. Isn't it in like it's in October, isn't it?
Yeah.
It might be cold enough. You might be able to put on like one of those cool like knitted beard.
Knitted ones.
Right,
yeah. Yo, it's funny.
I will have a beard.
On my team last year, three of us had big beards. One guy just took it off right before the tournament, and then we had Anthony, who just clean shaven as they come. But,
well, you know what? Beards got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They got to start somewhere.
Yeah, it's funny. Ray says, "I'm 3 foot tall and 4 foot wide. I strive off negativity."
Nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He's 4 foot wide.
See, the thing is, I'm big for nothing. I'm 6'4.5", 250, and I cry during movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't. I'm a softie at heart, and so I'm a big bear. You rub a bear the wrong way, you know what happens. Other than that, I'm looking for honey. You know what I mean? I ain't worried about nothing.
Well, if you're 6'4", 240 or 250, you're allowed to cry, and you don't have to worry about anyone making fun of you. I'll tell you that. I'm not making fun of somebody that's 6'5" or 6'4", 250. So,
yeah, and you know what? Sometimes that gets the best of me because I know in real life, a lot of these people wouldn't say that, and face to face, we would even know that. And I don't like to do that, and I don't like to act like that kind of guy at times. But it's like come to the event in May and see for yourself. That's all.
Bro. The internet makes people say stuff that they would never say in person.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's the way it is, bro. 99% of them would not say the dumb stuff they say in person that they say on the internet.
Yo, but the Knucklehead series, man, I'm excited to be submitting some bass and hopefully make something for one of those months.
Yeah. Anthony came through
anyway, so.
Yeah, Anthony said, I got something going on now, though, Jay, because I said he didn't have no beard. He said, getting ready to do my spot on the team right this year.
Hey.
Yo, beards only.
Yeah, we have such a huge following on the kayak fishing dads that you set up. We got to get some people on this team, Jay. We could easily with that following you have, we could easily have you be one of the bigger teams on that event.
Yeah, bro. Oh. Well, I know one of the guys here, Brian Reed, he's been commenting, and he's signed up, and he's on the kayak fishing dads, and I think he's coming out to our meet that we're having in 2 weeks too. But Ray Johnson too. Like, there's a lot of guys I've been seeing in the chat that come from the group, man. But it's incredible. Like, literally 1,000 new members over the last 2 weeks, each week.
It is.
So it's growing like crazy, man.
Yo, speaking of, so that was how I even came across Blake Abbey, and I'm gonna touch on this real quick for a particular. Oh, is there a fly in my room? I do have my window cracked. All right, cool. All right, anyhow, check this out. Let me make this quick. So, Blake Abbey, he shared some amazing, cool photos of him and his daughters with the check. They had some real tasteful photos of his daughters on the kayak at the launch ramp, and just a great energy. Dudes from Florida. And so yeah, we linked with him and we talked with him because we're supposed to have this show with him today. And he tells us that he's doing this tournament this weekend. Happens to be the particular tournament is the prerequisite actually for the potential for kayak fishing to be an Olympic sport, which was like kind of like wild. So this tournament is going to be the last 6 that will be decided to be on the Pan America team. And what I didn't know about this, which was interesting, is I don't know what's the guy's full name. The guy from Jackson Kayak, the guy who owns it.
I don't remember.
I don't know his name.
Mr. Jackson. We'll go with that for now. So apparently, Mr. Jackson was a whitewater Olympic kayaker in '92. And he's the founder of Jackson Kayaks, and why they're potentially some really good river kayaks. Eric Jackson.
Eric Jackson. Yep.
Eric
Kara
Jackson.
just put it up.
Yep. Cool. I didn't know that, aka EJ. So yeah. So he's gonna be a part of this scenario and how this is being spearheaded. But yeah, so Blake Abbeys did I think two or three first places or second places already. He's already got some wins under his belt for this year and last year. So
and he's pretty new on the scene. Like I follow a little bit of the tournament angling scene, like the professional national trails.
yeah,
But I'm pretty sure he's new to it this year.
and he's been coming in like a freaking.
Well, he won the first Hobie event of the year. He got first place.
$7,000. That was when it prompted me to even look into him, because he shared his images to the Facebook group, and I just thought it was one of our members resharing something else from it, because the quality, everything was like so top notch. And I'm like looking, I'm like, no, that's dude himself, and he's a part of our, a part of our little community. And so that was cool, man. That was cool. That was real. That was dope.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a hoot. Eric must be a hoot. That's what's up, man. Yeah.
Any other questions, bro? I think I'm all talked out about the Knucklehead, man. I'm excited. It starts on Wednesday, so May 1st it starts.
Oh wait, so it had May 1st is okay. So I didn't miss anything yet.
Yeah, you didn't miss.
No, you didn't miss.
Oh, okay, my mistake, Jay. I thought April had an event as well.
That's why I said
last year it did. They changed it, but
okay, my mistake. I'd misunderstood that part.
Yeah, so again, starts on Wednesday. Just sign up at Fishing Chaos app or website. Team Bearded Dad. Team to join. So I'm already looking at Airbnbs down there that can house 6 people. Make
you
it.
Gotta just send me the dates. Figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It's on my wedding anniversary. The tournament.
Really?
Yeah. So it's October 5th and 6th. My anniversary is the 5th. And my wife she's amazing. She was like, I told her, I was like, I don't got to do this. Like, it's our anniversary. We always do something. We're going on 12 years married now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't got to do it, babe. Whatever. You know what I mean? It's cool. We've never been separate on our anniversary. She was like, no, just do it. But you got the next weekend. You're gonna be back. You're gonna take me out on a little vacation. I was like, all right.
So 2 weeks in a row, you lucky bastard.
So, yeah. I should take her fishing.
Don't do it.
I won't make it to 13 years after that, bro.
Well, this was a good one, man. And how dope was it that he caught fish on, man? Come on.
Yeah. Well, Brian said he's gonna catch 3 next time, man. Lake St. Clair bass.
Yeah, I got to top it. And now that I know the live works, I gotta top that somehow.
Yeah, I gotta try.
That's pretty good.
And I need a mount. That's the next thing.
And he broke up a little bit, but it wasn't too bad, honestly. Like it seemed like when he did break up a little bit, like the lag picked up. Like it didn't really miss any of his sentence. I don't know how that worked, but we still got his entire sentence every time. So
the audio was all there, even though the video wasn't. So that was good.
Yeah, audio is what matters. Yeah,
it was really strange how that worked.
Yeah, but you're right. It kind of caught up. So if anything, it was just a little lag for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then
right. We didn't really miss a sentence. I don't know how that lag worked, but we usually got every sentence he said, so it wasn't too bad on that. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Lucas is with us too.
Yeah, Lucas came on.
Maybe be with us next time.
You're on my team, not Jay's.
He's probably gonna.
Oh, that's right. He
one of
was
those
considering
Oh,
it.
he said he wasn't going to. So yeah, so Lucas, Chad Hoover actually reached out to Lucas and asked him if he wanted to captain the team.
Oh, but now okay.
So now he's saying if he decides, then Brian's going to be on his team.
Wow.
He's over here.
He's already plotting.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure on me here.
Bro, you're
So-
a hot
Oh, come on,
commodity, bro.
man. It's all good. We already know what's up. It's all good. And then it'll be like a 2-versus-2 kind of thing
Right.
because you already know where I'm rocking.
Bro, they're going to win. They're on St. Clair.
Yeah, I know. Hey, we got some. You know what I mean? Well, we got to see, man. I don't know. We got the Susky.
You're slightly more south of us, so don't the fish get bigger as you go south?
Yeah, they don't get bigger than that. I mean,
Okay.
PA is not an amazing place for fish for bass fishing. We can get some big ones out here, but they're few and far between.
Yeah, when you get
I mean,
like
a good one here is like a
you're like-
solid 5-pounder is going to be like probably the best of the year. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
They got some 7 and 8s out here, but they are stretched out. Like it's hard to find those.
Yeah, and you have a few that are like you have a few 9s or 10s, but that's like
It's almost unheard of.
yeah, almost unheard of up here. I mean, they're there, but I don't know.
So look what he said. Lucas says, I talked to Hoover. I'm still on the fence and I have a few days to decide. So if Lucas decides to have a team, then we're gonna have 2 knucklehead captains here on the Yak Chat, man. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
That'll be. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, yeah. I hope, Brian, that you do get on either his team or my team. You guys would.
You know what I can do? I can do
slugfest.
I can do 2 teams. I can do both.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that'll
But then
work.
you got to
Oh,
pick
and I
one
can
when
do
you get
2
first
teams.
place.
That's funny.
We'll see how it works out. Luke is a pretty busy guy. I don't think he's going to end up taking him up on that.
He said Chad was hammering me in Wendell's stream. He's supposed to be here so I can give me a fan answer.
We'll see.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting if he does. That's for sure.
Yeah, Cooler Lid said, "How about in the Finger Lakes, bro? There's big
there's
ones.
some
Like New York's a much better fishery than PA, and the DEC up there does an amazing job with their
Jersey is
conservation.
too. Actually, I ain't gonna lie, I forgot. There's a few spots in Jersey that one could go to try to get a larger bass out of, especially smallmouth.
Yeah. Brian Reed said, "I'm doing Team Bearded Dad or nothing." My guy, ride or die. We're getting there, bro. He's gonna be on my team. But all right, guys, I think that's it. I don't got nothing else, man.
I wasn't checking the chat that much because I'm only doing this through my phone. Did we get any dad jokes during that stream or none?
Yeah, dad jokes, yo. Where the dad jokes at, y'all?
Oh, yeah, of course, man. We got let's see, the funny economy. We only got two. But and both from Ray Johnson, my guy. So he actually lives maybe like half an hour from here.
I'm sorry. I read I could see and I could read what we starred over here. And this
Oh yeah, it's right here. It started. All right, so Ray Johnson, he said, "Where do fish go on vacation?" Finland.
Like it.
Second and last one here. So I became a professional fisherman, but discovered I couldn't live on my net income.
Nice. I like them both.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yo, Ray Johnson, man, hit me up and let me know what's going on in Jersey, man. Hit both of us up, the Bearded Dad and Kappa Hooks. Let us know what's going on. Put us onto some spots out in Jersey.
Brian just said Lake Hopatcong. I've heard of it. Hopatcong. That's not that far. It's outside of Phillipsburg, I think.
Hopatcong.
Yeah, and Lucas with the super chat, $4.99.
I think he hit you up with 2 super chats by accident, which is sweet. Or maybe he just gave you a double there.
He
Nice.
said tip for the host. Oh, thanks, bro. He's over here just sending money.
It helps keep the StreamYard going. So
That's right, y'all. This ain't I never ever try to push the subscribe or the channel memberships on the Yak Chat, but yeah, this stuff costs money though. I mean, even the StreamYard itself is like $50 a month. So I mean, we love doing this. So I'll do it even if I got to pay out of pocket. But if y'all want to be channel members, I got 4 different levels from $2.99 all the way to $25. So
yeah, I like Merrill Creek.
Appreciate it.
The only thing about Merrill Creek is those hours, man. You know, can't be there too early, can't be there too late. So.
Yeah, Merrill Creek. That's kind of a weird lake. It's a good lake. it's super deep. It gets up to 170 feet. So there's
Yeah.
lake trout and everything, but it's a private lake, so they set some weird rules that they can get away with there.
Yeah, it's a public private lake, so anyone from the public can go as long as you have a New Jersey fishing license, but you have to adhere to the regulations that they have set forth because
Yeah, like they have a rule that you can't stand if you're on a kayak, and they
it's preferred if you're in the because I ain't gonna lie, they do have a lot of timber, and depending on the wind that day,
it gets windy. Like it's a big lake, but
yeah,
but they could set up those type of weird rules that most other places would not.
Yeah, there was a
boat
tournament.
launch is strict too. Like you can't put a kayak in the boat launch unless you're on a wet trailer.
Yeah,
like you can't wheel it in. You have to wheel it in on the side, which is not
like a designated kayak loading.
Yeah, but it's for paddle, like little tiny kayaks. It's not for big old fishing kayaks like we got.
Yeah,
right.
True.
That's kind of ridiculous because there are launches where I know it takes me a little while to set up my stuff, because I don't have a trailer. Yeah. But I will set up my stuff on the side and then put it on a wheel trailer and wheel it in real quick. So they wouldn't even allow you to do that.
You have to do it from a parking spot.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you can't like pull up by the launch and unload there. Like they have an attendant there.
Like I'm saying, like if it's a busy launch, I'm respectful. I will, because it does take me like 15, 20 minutes to put all my stuff in. So I will go to the side. I will have my entire setup done, and then I'll put it on my little, my little kayak, my wheels. I'm losing my mind on what it's called. The
sea tug.
Yeah, on the sea tug, and I'll wheel it in, and then put my wheels right back in my car.
Yeah, but they won't let you do it on the ramp. You have to use. Yeah, you have to. It's silly.
It's so crazy. You literally have to do it. You literally have to park, and then if you're not trailering it, dropping it in via trailer. Mm-hmm. Like the first time I went, I had to wheel cart mine in. I had to wheel cart it all the way. And it was the first time I ever owned my Hobie. And I was going up the hill. Oh my Lord. And it was after a long day. My first time ever being on the water with pedal drive kayak, officially that big of a lake. It was crazy.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps it up for today. So we got to talk to Chad and talk about the Knucklehead. So again, I appreciate you guys for jumping on. Thank you, everybody, for watching, man. And so May 12th is our next one, and we're going to be talking about kayak safety and what that looks like. So make sure y'all put it on your calendars. And if you can't watch it live, then you can always stream it later on or check it out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Oh, real quick before we get out of here, just a quick shout out to my wife. It was her birthday this past week.
Hey,
and, so happy 32nd to my beautiful wife.
Happy birthday! You gotta do the thing.
Happy birthday for balloons.
Hey, we got to use it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed, man.
All right, yo. God bless, guys. Peace.
All right, peace, man.